Hello, welcome to Engineering Tuitions. This is the fourth session of Communication System. In this session, we will discuss wideband FM with its generation and detection techniques. But before starting today's discussion, firstly we will see why there is a need to discuss wideband FM while we already know about narrowband FM. So let's get started today's session. The modulating signal in FM causes the frequency of the carrier signal to move away from its nominal center value. Is that the frequency of the carrier signal deviates according to the instantaneous amplitude of the baseband signal. Hence, narrowband FM uses a small amount of deviation, whereas wideband FM uses a large amount, as shown in this figure. FM also produces sidebands, but they are much more complex mathematically than AM sidebands. They are related not only to the modulating frequency, but to the amount of deviation. Large deviation produces much more complex sidebands that occupy much more bandwidth. Narrowband FM produces sidebands that are very similar to AM sidebands, but they are slightly more complex mathematically than AM sidebands, but have a similar characteristics in that the total bandwidth is twice of FM and total power. By contrast, wideband FM produces much more complex sidebands that occupy quite a bit more than twice of FM. The extra bandwidth allows more information to be carried in a much more robust interference rejecting way. So wideband FM is great for high fidelity signal. Narrowband FM allows many more channels to be fitted into a given band and is adequate for speech. That's why narrowband FM is only used for two-way short-range radio devices and is less significant. Wideband FM is what is used for broadcast FM. Now we see how to determine the mathematical way of representing the wideband FM. We know the standard equation of the FM signal is St is equal to AC into cos 2 pi fct plus beta into sin 2 pi fmt, or St is equal to real part of AC exponential of j 2 pi fct plus j beta into sin 2 pi fmt, which can also be written as real part of s cap t into exponential of j 2 pi fct, where s cap t is equal to AC exponential of j beta into sin 2 pi fmt, which is called as complex envelope. Note that the complex envelope is a periodic function of time with a fundamental frequency fm, which means s cap t is equal to s cap t plus k into tm, which is the relation to determine the periodicity of a signal can also be written as s cap t plus k upon fm, where 1 upon fm is equal to the time period tm. Then we can rewrite s cap t is equal to AC exponential of j beta into sin 2 pi fm into t plus k upon fm, which is equal to AC exponential j beta into sin 2 pi fmt plus 2 pi k, which is equal to AC exponential j beta into sin 2 pi fmt. So Fourier series form of s cap t is equal to summation from n equal minus infinite to infinite Cn exponential of j 2 pi n fmt, where Fourier series coefficient Cn is equal to fm integration from minus 1 upon twice of fm to 1 upon twice of fm of s cap t into exponential of minus j 2 pi n fmt into dt, which is equal to fm into AC integration from minus 1 upon twice of fm to 1 upon twice of fm of exponential of j beta into sin 2 pi fmt minus j 2 pi n fmt into dt. Now defining a new variable x which is equal to 2 pi fmt, then we can rewrite the Fourier series coefficient c of n is equal to AC upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to pi of exponential of j into beta sin x minus nx into dx. We know nth order Bessel function of the first kind and argument beta, which is Jn beta is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to pi of the exponential of j beta into sin x minus nx into dx. On comparing these two equations, we get Fourier series coefficient C of n is equal to AC into Jn beta, which gives h cap t is equal to AC into summation from n equal minus infinite to infinite Jn beta into exponential of 2 pi n fmt. Then the FM wave can be written as st is equal to real part of s cap t into exponential of j2 pi fct, which is equal to real part of AC summation from minus infinite to infinite jn beta into exponential of j2 pi n into fc plus fm t. So st is equal to AC into summation from n equal minus infinite to infinite jn beta into cos 2 pi fc plus nfm t, which is the equation of wideband FM. So Fourier transform of st is s of f is equal to AC upon 2 summation from n equal minus infinite to infinite jn beta into delta of f minus fc minus nfm plus delta of f plus fc plus nfm, which shows that the spectrum consists of an infinite number of delta functions spaced at f is equal to fc plus minus nfm for n equal to 0, plus 1, plus 2 and so on. Now the properties of singleton AM for arbitrary modulation index beta, which are important for the calculation of wideband FM. For different even values of n, Jn beta is equal to j of minus n beta, and for different odd values of n, Jn beta is equal to minus j of minus n beta. For small values of beta like j naught beta is approximately is equal to 1 and j1 beta is approximately is equal to beta upon 2 and jn beta is approximately is equal to 0 for n greater than 2. We will see this point in the next portion. The equality holds exactly for arbitrary beta summation from n equal minus infinite to infinite jn square beta is equal to 1. This is the plot of the Bessel function of the first kind for varying order of n. In this plot, we can see the spectrum of FM wave consists of carrier component and infinite number of upper and lower sideband frequencies. The magnitude of spectral components depends on the Bessel function values, but these values gradually decreases as n increases. So the magnitude of higher order sidebands are negligible. Now calculation of power of an FM wave. The amplitude of the carrier component of an FM wave is dependent on the modulation index beta. The average power of such signal developed across a 1 ohm resistor is also constant. So average power is equal to AC square by 2. The average power of an FM wave may also be written as average power is equal to AC square by 2 into summation from n equal minus infinite to infinite Jn square beta. Now transmission bandwidth of FM waves. Recall the single tone frequency modulated wave given as St is equal to AC into cos 2 pi fct plus beta into sin 2 pi fmt, and its Fourier transform is given as S of f is equal to AC upon 2 into summation from n equal minus infinite to infinite Jn beta into delta of f minus fc minus nfm plus delta of f plus fc plus nfm, where the modulation index beta is equal to kf am upon fm, where kf into am is the frequency deviation. So beta is equal to delta f upon fm for the message signal mt is equal to am cos 2 pi fmt. To see the bandwidth, let us consider two different cases. Case first, By fixing the value of Fm and vary the amplitude Am, we can see the phase deviation is varied with the increment in the value of the modulation index beta from beta is equal to 1 to beta is equal to 2 and to beta is equal to 5. Case second, by fixing the value of the amplitude Am and varying the frequency Fm, phase deviation is fixed, but the bandwidth of message signal is varied with the increment in the value of the modulation index beta from beta is equal to 1 to beta is equal to 2 to beta is equal to 5. In theory, an FM wave contains an infinite number of side frequencies. However, we find that the FM wave is effectively limited to a finite number of significant side frequencies, compatible with a specified amount of distortion. Observation of two limiting cases is for larger values of the modulation index beta, the bandwidth approaches and is only slightly greater than the total frequency excursion twice of delta f. And for small values of the modulation index, the spectrum of the FM wave is effectively limited to one pair of side frequencies at Fc plus minus Fm, so that the bandwidth approaches twice of Fm. Now Carlson's rule to calculate the bandwidth of the wideband FM. Carlson's rule is the approximation rule for the transmission bandwidth of an FM wave. In case of single tone AM, transmission bandwidth is approximately is equal to twice of delta f, which is the frequency excursion, plus twice of Fm is equal to twice of delta f into 1 plus 1 upon beta. And in case of arbitrary modulating wave, transmission bandwidth is approximately is equal to 2 into delta f plus w, which is equal to twice of delta f into 1 plus 1 upon d, where d is the deviation ratio, which is equal to delta f upon w. Now generation of FM wave. The following two methods generate wideband FM wave: direct method and indirect method. Direct method. This method is called as the direct method because we are generating a wideband FM wave directly. In this method, voltage controlled oscillator is used to generate wideband FM. VCO produces an output signal whose frequency is proportional to the input signal voltage. This is similar to the definition of frequency modulated wave. The block diagram of the generation of wideband FM is shown in the following figure. Here the modulating signal MT is applied as an input of voltage controlled oscillator VCO. VCO produces an output which is nothing but the wideband FM. So instantaneous frequency Fi is directly proportional to the message signal MT. So Fi is equal to Fc plus Kf into MT, where Fi is the instantaneous frequency of the wideband FM wave. Now second method, which is the indirect method. This method is called as indirect method because we are generating a wideband FM wave indirectly. This means first we will generate narrowband FM wave, and then with the help of frequency multipliers we will get wideband FM wave. The block diagram of generation of wideband FM wave is shown in the following figure. This block diagram contains mainly two stages. In the first stage, the narrowband FM wave will be generated using narrowband FM modulator. We know that the modulation index of narrowband FM wave is less than 1. Hence, in order to get the modulation index of FM wave that is greater than 1, choose the frequency multiplier value properly. Frequency multiplier is a non-linear device which produces an output signal whose frequency is n times the input signal frequency, where n is the multiplication factor. If narrowband FM wave whose modulation index beta is less than 1 is applied as the input of frequency multiplier, then the frequency multiplier produces an output signal whose modulation index is n times beta, and the frequency also n times the frequency of narrowband FM wave. Sometimes we may require multiple stages of frequency multiplier and mixers in order to increase the frequency deviation and modulation index of FM wave. Now detection of wideband FM. The first type of detection is frequency discrimination method using balanced slope detector. A balanced slope detector is an improved version of the slope detector. The drawback of harmonic distortion is removed in this detector by using two slope detectors instead of one as a single tuned slope detector. The circuit diagram has two slope detectors marked as slope detector 1 and slope detector 2. Both the slope detectors are called balanced because they have identical components. Slope detector 1 consists of a detector diode D1, filter capacitor C1, load resistor R1 and filter inductor L1. Slope detector 2 consists of a detector diode D2, filter capacitor C2, load resistor R2 and filter inductor L2. The two slope detectors are balanced because L1 is equal to L2, C1 is equal to C2, R1 is equal to R2 and D1 is identical to D2. The upper and lower windings of the secondary winding of the center tape transformer are also identical. The primary winding of the input transformer is tuned to the frequency of the carrier signal Fc. The secondary windings is tuned to different frequencies so that the circuit is staggered tuned. Is that arrange objects or parts in a zigzag formation so that they are not in line. The output of the detector diodes D1 and D2 are filtered by these two RC circuits. The voltage V1 is developed across this R and voltage V2 is developed across this R are added together by this summer block to get the final output voltage V0, which is the modulating voltage. So when instantaneous frequency is equal to the carrier frequency Fc, the gain of first tune circuit is same as the gain of second tune circuit. The output of the envelope detector will be same and output will be 0. When instantaneous frequency is greater than the carrier frequency, the gain of the first tune circuit is greater than the second tune circuit. So voltage V1 is greater than V2 and output voltage will be positive. Now third case, when Fi is less than Fc, the gain of the first tuned circuit is less than the second tuned circuit, so V1 is less than V2 and the output voltage will be negative as depicted in this figure. Now phase discrimination method. The following figure shows the block diagram of FM modulator using phase discrimination method. The block diagram consists of the multiplier, the low pass filter and the voltage controlled oscillator. The VCO produces an output signal Vt whose frequency is proportional to the input signal voltage Dt. Initially, when the signal Dt is 0, adjust the VCO to produce an output signal Vt. Having a carrier frequency and minus 90-degree phase shift with respect to the carrier signal, FM wave St and the VCO output Vt are applied as inputs of the multiplier. The multiplier produces an output having a high frequency component and a low frequency component. Low pass filter eliminates the high frequency component and produces only the low frequency component as its output. This low frequency component contains only the term related phase difference. Hence we get the modulating signal MT from this output of the low pass filter. Okay, so that's all for today's session and thanks for watching the video.